Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kazak Yah, and I have a message for the world. And the message is entitled, "A Repented Nation Can Reverse COVID-19." A repentant nation can reverse COVID-19. The text I'm going to read is Romans chapter 1. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we're in the age where people are looking for answers. And we have a lot of so-called people who have been called to be ministers, pastors, preachers, teachers, or what have you, but they are fleecing the flock. And they are trying to preserve their ministries in a crisis. But the Most High has an answer for Israel and for the world, how we can break this COVID-19 curse. All right. So what I want to do is I want to show you why COVID-19 came on a global scale. There are those that would say that COVID-19, the coronavirus, was created, it is a reflection of some scientific experiment to reduce the population of humanity. Okay. I don't know if that's true or not. Okay. But one thing I know is, which is certain, that the Most High said through his son and the prophets that in the last days that perilous times would come and that there will be pestilences and famines. The coronavirus is a famine and a pestilence. It is a pestilence that has produced famine. The world is shut down, right? The Most High allowed it to happen during the time of the Passover. It's not a coincidence. Okay? We're in the last days. All right? Now, let's go to Romans chapter 1. And I'm going to read something that you all are familiar with. But what I want to say is that what the world is experiencing, and we're going to let the text say it, is what the Most High called the iniquity of the Amorites. The iniquity of the Amorites to the full scale, right? Now, we're not going to so much deal with the iniquity of the Amorites. I might read it in the text. We'll see. But what I want to focus in on and deal with is the reason, or what the elements of the earth that has brought on judgment, just as it was in the days of Noah. Okay. Now, let me just read this here. Before we go to Romans 1, I want to read this because I just spoke it, so I want to read it. Okay. If we go to the Messiah said in Matthew's 24. And we're going to read also in Luke 17. But let's go to Matthew 24. Keep your finger there on Romans, right? We're coming back there because we're going to show you why the judgment came and how we can get out of this COVID-19 curse. All right. So in Matthew chapter 24, these are the words of the Messiah, who the world incorrectly calls Jesus Christ. Right. Matthew 24 and verse 37 reads on this wise. Okay. It says, "As it was in the days of Noah, where so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days of Noah that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And they knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay? Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, the other left. Two women shall be grinding in the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, verse 42, for you know not what hour the master does come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken. Therefore, he says, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is faithful and a wise servant, whom his master have made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is the servant whom master, when he comes, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my master delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, then the master of the servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in the hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So now, as it was in the days of Noah, they were disobedient, right? A thought came, and we'll hold that for a second. Let's go over to Luke chapter 17. All right. And we're going to go back to Romans, right? If I don't go to this other verse. Okay. Luke chapter 17. All right. 17 and verse 26. Luke chapter 17, verse 26. And the reason this wise. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat and drink, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Okay. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So what happened in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah? They were wicked. They had the spirit of the Amorites, right? All right. Since I said that, now the main verse I wanted to go to is Romans 1. But before we do that, let's go over to Leviticus chapter 17, I believe it is. All right. We're going to go to the Old Testament. Okay. Leviticus chapter 17. And I believe that's where I want to be. Okay. Leviticus 17. Verse 1, and it reads on this wise. And Yah spoke to Moses, saying, speaking to Aharon or Aaron. Aharon is his Hebraic name. Aaron is the Hellenized version of the name. Okay, but let's continue. And unto the sons and unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, this is the thing that Yah have commanded, saying, what manner soever there be of the house of Israel that killeth an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or that killeth it out of the camp, and bringeth it not into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer an offering unto Yah before the tabernacle of Yah, the blood shall be imputed unto him, that man, he hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offer in the open field, even that they may bring them unto Yah, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto Yah. and the priest shall sprinkle the blood. This is not the verse I wanted. Hold on 1 second. All right, this is not the one I wanted. I said Leviticus 17, but let's see something here. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Okay, it is Leviticus chapter 18. Okay, that's the verse I wanted to go to, the chapter, I should say. So let's go to Leviticus chapter 18, and we're going to start at verse 1. Okay, Leviticus 18 says, Yah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am Yah your Elohim, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, you shall not do. And after the doings of the land of the Canaanites, whether I bring you, shall you not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinances. You shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances. To walk therein, I am Yah, your Elohim. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yah. Why? None of you, verse 6, this is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 6, and the reason is wise. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness, for I am Yah. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of her father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father or daughter of thy mother, whether she is born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter or of thy daughter's daughter, even the nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. Verse 11. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother, for thou shalt not approach to his wife, she is thine aunt. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, besides the other in her lifetime. Also thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. That goes a long ways right there. Let me read verse 19 again. Also thou shalt not approach unto a woman, that's any woman, to uncover her nakedness. Okay, so you're not supposed to be sleeping with somebody that's not your wife. Loose sex, orgies, gang bang, all that, right? As long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife. Okay? If she's married, you ain't supposed to be looking at her. You ain't supposed to be thinking about her. You ain't supposed to be plotting. You definitely ain't supposed to be in line with her, right? But he says here, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile her thyself with her. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of Yah, of Elohim, I am Yah. Okay, so passing through the fire is offering sacrifice to these other gods of the nations. And it comes in many forms, all right? Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind, it is an abomination. So you shall not lie with a man, right? You shall not lie. Homosexuality, a man with a man or a woman with a woman. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. Okay? Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not yourself in any of these things, for in all these the nations, hear that, the nations, not just Israel, the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. So COVID came as a result of the sin of the people who have embraced the covenant of Israel, called the church, and the nations. It said, the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And the land is defiled. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity. Listen, I do visit the iniquity, therefore, upon it, and the land itself vomit out her inhabitants. That means what? Death. Right? Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations. Neither shall any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourn among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. That the land spew not you out also when you defile it, as it spew out the nations that were before you. Right? That's what? Like I said, death. Spewing out means death, judgment, right? For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the soul that committeth them shall be cut off from among their people. That's what I said, death, right? That's why COVID came, right? Therefore shall you keep mine ordinances, that you commit not any of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that you defile not yourselves therein. I am Yah, your Elohim. So that is the iniquity in a nutshell of the Amorites that has become what? The iniquity of the nations of the world in these last days, which brought forth what? Judgment. Or the spilling out of those who practice these wickedness. Okay? Now, let's go back to, I want to go to Romans now. Okay? Now, Romans chapter 1, most of you read from the New Testament, and you know the epistles of Paul inside out, upside down. You know it. Okay? So what most people don't know or understand is that Paul was a student of Torah, or what you call the law. So when he spoke, he was speaking with regards to the law. He always said, I speak to them that know the law. He wasn't speaking to you if you don't study the Old Testament, because you say, well, the Old Testament was done and nailed to the tree. So you don't know the law, so you have no clue what Paul's talking about. Okay? Only those that study the law know what Paul's talking about when he talks about the law and the various different components of the law that many people lump into one, but there are components or different aspects of the law for different reasons, for different purposes, right? Okay? Now, having said that, let's go to Romans 1:16. I'm going to finish right here, okay? Shaul, who the world calls Paul, says on this wise, for I, this is verse 16, Romans 1 verse 16, all right? He says, you hear the wind in the background because it's very windy. This is part of that judgment, okay? But anyway, let me get back. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of the Messiah, for it is the power of Elohim unto salvation to everyone that believe, to the Israelite first. And the King James says the Jew, but we know that there were 12 tribes of Israel. One tribe is called Judah, so the Jew is not in a reference to the whole nation of Israel. A Jew is a reference to one specific tribe, or one of the sons of Israel, or I should say one of the sons of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. So Jew is only a reference to one tribe, which is the tribe of Judah. Okay, so let's put the proper perspective there when we read in the text. It is to the Israelite first, one of the 12 tribes. You can name them down if you like. Okay, Gad, Asher, Benjamin, Judah, Reuben, Levi, etc. Naphtali, ... Okay, so the Israelite. This was given to the sons of Jacob, whose name was Israel. That's why they're called Israelites, because their father was Israel. So they are the sons of Israel. So they become known as Israelites, not Jews. Jews is only one tribe. Okay. For Elohim unto salvation, verse 16, Romans 1:16 in the middle. To everyone that believed, to the Israelite first, and also to the Greek. And watch what he says here. For therein is the righteousness of Elohim revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. Now, let me stop there, because faith is not just something that's magical. Faith is an action word. Faith is a word that requires a response from those that say they have it. Faith without works is not faith, it's just belief. But faith is having instructions and obeying the instructions to see the given result or the proposed result. Okay? Now, verse 18, Romans 1:18. For the wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all I'm going to read just the way it says here so you can comprehend it. Against all ungodliness, which means wickedness. Ungodliness is not having the nature or the character of the God, right? We don't like to use that, but so you can understand what we're saying. When you don't have the character of the Creator, that's what he's talking about, ungodliness, okay? Now that we got that clear, okay? The wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all wickedness. Let's just put it where it is. As the saying goes, put it where the ghost can get it. And unrighteousness. What is unrighteousness? Disobedience. That's what unrighteousness is. Not obeying, not complying with the law of the Creator. Okay? Against all wickedness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. So they say, in other words, say, Oh, we don't have to obey the law. The law is nailed to the tree. All we got to do is just believe in Jesus and we're going to be all right. No. That's what he calls holding the truth in unrighteousness. And that's why COVID came, because the people who are supposed to be leading the nation to repentance and to serving the Most High, right, have violated his protocol, have violated his code of ethics, have violated his commandments for fleshly gain. Okay? And because of that, they hold the truth. And because of that, the wrath of the Almighty has come to the height. See, the nations have reached the height of the transgression. That's why the judgment is coming. That's why we're in the last days, because the Most High said, except I shorten the days, no flesh will be saved. Because why? Humanity has reached the height of wickedness or unrighteousness. See how this is working now? All right. But verse 19, Romans 1:19, but that which may be known of Elohim is manifested in them. You say, I don't believe in the Bible. Bible written by the white man. Bible written by, right? The Most High gave you a record. Inside, you know that what you're doing is wrong. You may justify it and make excuses as to why you want to burn in your lust for that which is commanded for you not to do. But you know it's wrong. Okay? For the invisible things of him from the creation, verse 20, of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and his power. King James says Godhead. We got to get rid of the Godheads. By his power, by his authority, by his might, right? So that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew Elohim, they glorified him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations. And their foolish hearts was darkened. That's where we are in this globe. America is that way. The nations are that way. Everybody have become self-worshipers. Okay? Professing themselves to be wise. Right? Oh, what did Nebuchadnezzar say? This is Babylon that I have built. Right? What did the president of the United States say? Man, this is the best time. This is the best economy we've ever had. Right? What did the Messiah say? When they shall say peace, peace, and safety, sudden destruction shall come. Right? Babylon is falling, right? Nebuchadnezzar said, hey, this is Babylon that I have built. And the Most High wrote on the wall, you know, your kingdom has been divided, taken from you, and given to your enemies. Okay? Now, so verse 22, Romans 1:22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Right? What does the fool say in his heart? There is no Elohim. Or they say, oh, I'm a Christian, but the way the deeds is saying that there is no Elohim. I'm the Elohim, right? All right, you got that? Verse 23, and change the esteem or the glory of the uncorruptible Elohim unto an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. The Most High, like I said in the previous video, he shut this nation down. The pagan Astarte is not going to get no glory this season, brothers and sisters. The government, the globe, the nations have shut down the churches for Easter. The Astarte deity, the sun worship, the Sunday God, right? The Most High shut it down during the Passover. Not a coincidence. All right, they changed the glory, the uncorruptible Elohim, into an image made like unto corruptible man, and birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Verse 24. Wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So in this hour, the Most High allowed a law to be passed, brothers and sisters, where a man can marry man and a woman can marry a woman, and it's okay. All right, you can do whatever, make whatever choices you want to make, but when you have violated the sin and violated the law to the height, the iniquity of the Amorites is a perversion. Is 100% lawlessness, disobedience to the Creator's law. That's what the iniquity of the Amorites is. And that's where we are today. We have reached the height, the highest form of wickedness. The deeds of the Canaanites, right? All right, let's continue. It says, let's read verse 24, second half, 24, it says, the lust, it says, start verse at the top of the verse, wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their hearts. Homosexuality is lust of the heart. To dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie. See that? When the Most High made man, he made Adam and Kawa. You call Adam and Eve. But her name was Kawa, which means the giver of life. Wa means to breathe life. Most High said he made them male and female. Man says, oh, it's okay. Who says the Bible's right? A man should have the right to be able to be with a man and marry a man and call them husband and husband. The Most High didn't call them husband and husband. He called them husband and wife. Right? When he made them male and female, and made he them and said, be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say, be a fruit. He said, be fruitful. You can't be fruitful with the same sex. This is impossible. Okay? They changed the truth of Elohim into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore. Amen. Amen. For this cause, watch this now, verse 26, Elohim gave them up to vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use in that which is against nature. See, the women, not just the men, but the women have changed. Read it again. You say, both sides had nothing to say about women liking women. Right here it is right here. For even the women did change the natural use. What's natural? A woman being with a man and doing what? Producing a seed to continue to do what? To replenish the earth. That's natural. But when a woman gets with another woman and they can't reproduce, that's not natural, brothers and sisters. I don't care what you say. Okay? You wouldn't go to a field and plant corn and expect a pear tree, would you? Okay, so you can't get that with a woman and a woman or with a man and a man. But this particular verse is talking about the woman changing that. Let's read that again. For, he says, even their women did change the natural use of that which is against nature. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, there it is, he spelled it out right there, burned in their lust one towards another, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat or judgment. See that? So the Most High said what? Women changed. They did what? Changed the natural use, and so did the men. And what has happened? When the President Obama was the first president to allow the legalization of same-sex marriage. That was the beginning of the end. Okay? And then now this administration came in and put the ice on the cake by doing what? Oppressing the needy and the poor. We're going to deal with that in another lesson. So, verse 27 again, and likewise also the men leaving the natural use of the woman, burning their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves recompense of their error. Okay, which is meat. So what is recompense? Recompense is a payment. Everything we do, it requires some form of payment. It's a seed. Life is a seed. I don't care what you say. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe if you don't want to. You don't work a job, you don't get no money. That's a seed. Your working is your seed. Your payment is your harvest. Everything in life has a seed time and a harvest time. So when we plant the seeds of disobedience and wickedness, it brings forth a payment or a recompense. And that's why we have this epidemic that's globally because of sin, the iniquity of the nations. All right. And it's not just only with homosexuality, but it also goes with eating unclean, touching the unclean thing. We'll deal with that in another lesson too. All right. Now, verse 28, even as they did not like to retain Elohim in their knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a reprobated mind to do those things which are not convenient. See that? Being filled with all unrighteousness. What is unrighteousness? Disobedience. Not having the nature of the Creator or striving. Even Paul said in one of his letters, he said, follow me as I follow the Messiah. The head of the man is the woman, and the head of the woman is the man, excuse me. Head of the woman is the man, the head of the man is the Messiah, and the head of the Messiah is the Father, right? Follow the chain, right? But man says, no, I don't want to follow that chain. I'm going to create my own chain, right? I'm going to do like this movie, what they call The Final Destination, where they cheated death, okay? Reverse the cycle, but eventually came back and got him, didn't it? Okay? So here he says, verse 29, let's read that again. Verse 29 again. Being filled with all unrighteousness, disobedience, and fornication. Fornication has to do with prostitution, naturally, as well as spiritual prostitution, which means that you're worshiping the sun. All the festivals, the festivities that the world celebrates is based around sun worship. It's not based around the feast of the Most High. It's based around the festivals that have association with the sun and the moon and the stars. The Most High told Israel not to worship the sun, the moon, and the stars. Okay? But the world has followed that pattern, right? And ignorantly, it's continued, and you don't know it because your preacher, your pastor's not going to tell you, because why? It's convenient to keep people living a lie so they can continue to capitalize. But the iniquity of the Amorites has come to the height, and judgment has come. Okay? So he says fornication, wickedness. Okay? Anything that's not like the Most High, wickedness. Covetousness, wanting that which you are not supposed to have. Maliciousness, right? You know what it means to have malice in your heart. Full of envy, okay? Murder, debate. Oh, the Bible's not true. I mean, I don't believe the Bible. You know, the Bible has contradictions. That's debate, right? Deceit, right? Oh, these preachers out there right now, they're scrambling to save their life. So even in a crisis, like I said earlier in the video, they are fleecing the flock and deceiving you, tell you, oh, we want to get out of this crisis. We're going to come out of this better than it was before, right? Okay? Deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Elohim. In other words, you don't want to be obedient to him. So when you disobey him, you hate him. That's what the Messiah, that's what the disciple John or Yachanan said you hate him. You do not the truth. You walk in darkness, you hate him, and you do not the truth. What is walking in darkness? Walking in disobedient to the creator of heaven and earth. He gave us rules and regulations, instructions, commands, and we break those things, we hate him, right? All right? That's another lesson too. Haters of Elohim, despiteful, right? Proud. Boasters. Oh, we already covered it already. Is this great Babylon that I have built? Inventors of evil things. Disobedient to parents. These children nowadays, they don't have no respect for their parents and grandparents. Everything is all about them. They suck their teeth and everything and say all kinds of things to their grandparents. I hate you. We wouldn't say that to our parents. We might say it under our breath to ourselves. We wouldn't say it to them. But this generation will tell their parents and their grandparents right to their face, I hate you. Right? But disobedient to parents without understanding. They don't understand nothing. Covenant breakers. Right? In many forms, breaking the covenants, making the promise, covenant, whether it be loans, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be with a job, the whole 9 yards. People flip the script on you. Even as employers break covenants to save their own self. I almost said something. It says, without natural affection, implacable, and unmerciful. Unmerciful. That's what we saw. This is, like I said, the height of it. It began under the Obama administration, but it came to the height when the current president, called the people coming for rescue a caravan of terrorists. Now, maybe he didn't use that exact word, but he called them a caravan. Now, I think he may have made a reference to them being terrorists, and then also in reference to people in Africa, calling them S-hole nations. So you put the ice on the cake, and now Mosai said, "Listen, I'm gonna release the four winds. I'm gonna release the angels that's holding the four winds back. I'm gonna let the judgments come from the north, south, east, and west." And that's what we see right now. Now, I'm close here. It says, who knowing the judgment of Elohim. So COVID-19 is a judgment. That they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only that do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. See that? We turn on the TV and we see, I'm not going to name individuals because all you got to do is just turn on the network. ABC, NBC, CBS, etc., even the paid networks. What are you seeing? You're seeing lawlessness. What are you seeing? You're seeing adultery. You're seeing what? You're seeing fornication. You're seeing what? You're seeing the abomination, right? The Most High said the judgment of Elohim, that they which commit such things are worthy of death. They that commit such things are worthy of death. COVID got everybody scared. COVID got everybody afraid, fearful, fear, right? And you should be. Fear is designed to make you check yourself to see, is there anything I did to bring this on? Check yourself, okay? He says, they are worthy of death, not only that do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Turn on the TV and we see these sitcoms and these movies, and what you see now, you can't watch any of these shows unless you see some woman licking on another woman or some man licking on another man, laid up in the bed and all of that, right? And people take pleasure in watching that, and they think differently now, and they're raising up a nation of people who have perverted minds, men of corrupt minds, right? And so now, how do we reverse COVID? How do we get rid of this pandemic? Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to give you the answer. It's the answer that you already know. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14 said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, he said, then will I hear from heaven. I will forgive their sin and I will heal the land. I will heal the nation. I will heal the universe. Only if you do your part, you recognize that you are walking in wickedness, perversion, unrighteousness, disobedience, lawlessness, and return to the Most High to obey all that He has said, and the judgment will dissipate. Okay? I'm going to come back to the second part of this lesson. I'm going to show you what happened to a people who the prophet was pronounced or was instructed or commanded to go and prophesy against them. And the judgment that was supposed to happen to them was lifted because the people took place and they repented, and the Most High spared them. And the prophet was angry, right? But a prophet of the Most High wants to see the people of creation in right standings with the Creator, and they're not going to get mad if death doesn't come, if the people repent and turn back to the Most High. Okay? So if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, the Most High said, I will hear from heaven, I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. And on that note, shalom, shalom, shalom.